Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a quick video on the golf cart today. I needed to install a meter so I can know what my battery charge is. So today we're going to go ahead and install a meter on here and wire it up. So stay tuned. I'm going to be installing this basic gauge right here. It's going to give me capacity, voltage, and various other things. It's just a 2-wire connection. Got to cut a hole big enough to snap this in. I want to go ahead, wire up the negative or the positive straight to the battery, and then the other one to the switch. So this only comes on when the actual golf cart key is turned. So I'm going to go figure out that wiring as we go. So if you guys own one of these older EZGo golf carts that don't have really any gauges or anything, you don't know what your battery charge is, and you kind of got to guess and just plug it in and take your chances. So what we're going to do today is install that meter right here where this plate is, and go ahead and get it in there. We have to cut the hole, put it in there, and run the wires. I found out the hard way about your batteries and just kind of keeping up with them. One of my batteries actually went dead. It only registered 4 volts, so I realized that one was dead, so I actually replaced this one right here with a brand new one. Look at that, it's got an A4 on it, which is January 2024, so that thing's brand new. All the rest of my batteries are anywhere from like 3.5 to a little bit over 4 years old, and one of them died already just because of lack of maintenance from the previous owner. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to preserve these things and keep them going as long as I can before I have to switch to lithium. As far as these Trojan batteries, these are like top of the line golf cart batteries. They're about $160 or $170 each for the 6-volt versions. One of the 2 ways to tell the age of the battery is to look at the negative post. Like right here, this is one of my older batteries. This one's got a B9. We're looking at it upside down, but it's a B and a 9. That's for February 2019, and that's how you know what the date is. That is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever is for the months, and then the second letter or the number is the end of the year. So this is a 2019. Over here, you'll look at this set. It must have came from a different manufacturing batch because it doesn't have it on the negative terminal. It actually has it right there in the corner, and it says L0. So L is the L month of the year, and that's in 2020. As far as taking this thing off, it looks like a rivet if you look at it because it doesn't really have any screws, but these things actually thread into this hole right here. So what you can do is you could drill these out and just replace them with a screw, or try to turn these out and not damage them too much so you can reuse them. So I'm going to try both. Actually, you could push the center right in, I think, or this one just so old that it just popped right through. But something fell through the back. So it's just a little actually pushed through kind of clip. So we'll go ahead and preserve that and try to fish out the piece that fell in the back, see if we can reuse it. Pull that right out. And yeah, the thing fell in the back there somewhere, but go ahead, just once you get this out, you could go ahead and just turn that little lock thing, pull your key cylinder out, just leave this hanging in here, and then we could take this plate. It is I thought it was a plastic plate, but this thing's freaking metal. I was able to fish those little pegs out. They are just a little bit of push-in pegs, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and try to reuse this once we get inside of here. But the one thing I didn't expect was this thing being metal, so it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass to try to cut this, even with a Dremel. But we'll go ahead and try just to make it easy. I thought this was gonna be plastic, which would be much easier to use. Go ahead and multimeter these wires to see what color does what. I went ahead and stuck my negative on my multimeter into that port right there, which is the negative, after checking it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this over here and check on these wires. So I think the blue wire is the positive. So if I touch the blue wire, it's 38 volts. So that's the wire that goes straight back to the battery. And then this is the green wire is just continuity that completes the circuit to turn the thing on, or at least turn the controller on. So what we're gonna do here, If you guys didn't know, this switch is very basic. It's just a continuity switch. So when it's off, there's no continuity between these two pins, but when it's on, it beeps. See, we're gonna go continuity test. Right here, nothing. And if I turn the key, it continues the circuit off. So that's how the switch works. As far as the way we would wire up our thing is, we would hook it up to the green because I want it only to come on when I switch the key on, because this one goes straight to the battery right now. So this one completes the circuit after here, and then I just need to run one black wire for ground back to the battery, and that will pretty much provide me with the actual complete circuit to do this. So right here, if we look, this thing fits almost the same size as that parking instructions or safety instructions block. So we could probably fit it right there and maybe cover up all the lettering and all this stuff if I cut it just right to fit. It might show a little bit of the green, but that probably won't matter as much. So I'm gonna try to cut it like that. I'll go ahead and mark this and cut it with the Dremel. So went ahead and marked it with a little bit of Sharpie. You can kind of see the outline there. Go ahead and cut it now. Pretty much takes up the whole space. I'm gonna leave a little bit of the green. I'd rather cover up the letters than the actual green. Got my Dremel set up right here. I need to just put a blade on there so I can cut this thing. If you guys have never used a Dremel with a foot pedal, you're missing out, because this thing provides so much control. It makes all this work so much easier to do using a foot pedal to control the speed and to cut this. Oh yeah, that went pretty well right there. I only used 3 of these little blades right here. If you guys have never used these are the cutoff wheels from Dremel. You actually have to rig a little screw and plate and stuff into there, and one of these things like I have here, to get it to work, kind of got to open up the hole a little bit bigger just to get that screw in. But once you get it in and you get good control of it, you could pretty much cut anything, as long as you don't go too fast and break that thing, because that thing will shatter into pieces, as you saw on some of that time lapse. But we pretty much cut this thing pretty nicely there. I'll go ahead and see if it fits, and then clean up all this other adhesive and stuff that stuck all the grindings in. It's close but no cigar, so I actually have to trim it down a little bit, grind it down to see if I get that thing bigger. I'll probably just use a file to do that, since it's pretty much opened already. I just need a few millimeters on each side to get it in there. I just used this file right here, cleaned up a little bit of the edges to square it all up again, and pretty much now it fits right into here. So you just basically backside, you can see it all clears there. Once you see that it clears, and a little bit of room on the side, you just snap it right in. It snaps in, looks pretty good there. I'm not gonna need that vinyl or anything because I covered up all the letters like I should. You can see that was pretty tight. I could have given maybe another 1/16 of an inch on each side, but those things went straight flat right there. But this thing's not going anywhere. Perfect. So we'll go ahead, get this back in and wire it up. So this thing comes with this little wire harness right here, just 2 wires. So all I'm gonna do is take this red one, I'm gonna just go replace this spade connector here, just clip this thing and re-crimp it with a new spade connector, and just have it straight into there and share the same one. For the black, I'm gonna go ahead and run using the same loom. You can just run a wire all the way back to under the battery and just hook it up to the negative on the battery, and we should be good. You can see I pulled the wire all the way up here, I terminated it, and then I just put a nut right here on the stud, which is the ground stud for everything, including the buzzer and the controller right here and everything around here. So that's perfect right there. So now we just go back here, make the connections up there like I explained earlier, with changing out that spade connector and then connecting that black wire that I ran down here to the black wire on there. I'm just going to use a butt connector for this, and we should be pretty much good to go there. And I went ahead and made the connections here. The black wire went to that new black wire that we ran back to the ground. I went ahead and clipped the green wire right here, changed the spade connector, and just crimped it onto here with the red, and pretty much got everything in here. Go ahead. So it comes on 100%. So it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together, and we'll go through the buttons and see what it does. Here's one of the most important steps of using this thing, is to do the settings, right? So to get into settings, you actually have to turn it on and then hold the setting button to get into the settings, and you need to set it. We have lead acid batteries, so first thing you need to do is set it to the lead acid, which is P, I believe, and then you have to do it in increments of 12. So I have a 36-volt battery, so I've got to do a 3 as for the number of batteries I have. And then after that, you got to select your different settings right here on S1, S2, S3, and S5. Go ahead and hold this thing right here while I turn it on. So I'm on P, and then I want to go right here. I want to go, it goes all the way up there, but you want to do P3. P3 right there for lead acid with 3 batteries, which is 36 volts. It looks like I just left it there for a couple seconds and it went out of that programming mode, and it's showing 91% now since I set it to lead acid with 3 12-volt equivalent batteries. I'm gonna go ahead and take it into an advanced mode by holding it longer than the 10 seconds. So it says once we get in that programming mode, we have to push the function button, which is a little circle button, not the settings button, which is the gear. Once you get in that S setting, see the little marks right here, the double and then the single. I don't know what either one means, but looks like it just went out of it now. So I got a better understanding of what the S1 through S5 means. So each one of the bars means it's on or off. So like for this example right here, the S3 is on, which is the backlight, which is what you want. So if you want S1 on, you have to make sure that one is on. If you want S2 off, make sure that there's no bar there. So I got it to work, but the S1, which is the one that rotates the percentage and the voltage, doesn't move, which is weird that they don't activate this for some reason, but everything else works. Yeah, only that S1 doesn't work. What garbage. But anyways, this thing is pretty good for like $8 or $9, so I'll go ahead and stick with it and do what I can with it. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this quick video on doing that gauge for the golf cart. As you can see, pretty easy upgrade. The biggest and hardest part was just cutting that metal plate. Other than that, all the wiring and everything is pretty straightforward. I probably could have grounded it to any other metal part like the frame or anything, but I just ran it back to that same ground bus that everything else is using just to be more reliable. Anyways, if you guys found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel to stay on top of all my different DIY videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a video. For all these different projects, whether it's on the golf cart, on the cars, in the garage, on the house, or whatever I'm doing, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.